Morning, everyone. My name is Agustina Vicio. I am in charge of the Medicinal Registration and Evaluation Direction.
Mr. Jamil, introduce yourself.
Yeah, I'm Jamil Ahmed Baloch. I have recently joined as Trade and Investment Counselor in the Embassy of Pakistan. Basically, I'm a customs officer. I've been working since 2000. We will be monitoring the program. We'll start.
Can I introduce myself, please? I am Dr. Hamid. I am Director General at Trade Development Authority of Pakistan, Ministry of Commerce. I am heading the division on pharmaceuticals and engineering sectors, looking after in Pakistan. Thank you.
Hello.
Hello.
Over to you, Jamil sir.
It is indeed a matter of great honor for us that you distinguished guests have joined us for a meeting, and it's a meeting of the experts and senior officers on the side. Excellent to share thoughts, ideas, and proposals for further expansion of our bilateral interaction. We are also grateful to NMAT for accepting our request for a virtual meeting. I would also like to thank the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Trade and Worship for facilitating this meeting. Pakistan and Argentina, as you know, enjoy cordial bilateral relations since the establishment of diplomatic relations in October 1951. We have been cooperating with each other in many spheres for mutual benefit of the people of the two countries. There is, however, a need for further strengthening of these relations in the field of health services, agriculture, trade, commerce, and investment. The current level of mutual cooperation, I'm afraid, is not according to our true potential. So our balance of trade, total bilateral trade in 2019-20 was 115.85 million with Argentina. With Argentina obviously enjoying trade surplus, and out of the total trade which we had between each other, the trade in pharmaceutical products and goods was, which is under the NMAT of under the purview of NMAT and DRAP, was negligible. Sir, before proceeding further, I would request our ambassador to say a few words, and then I will request Dr. Hamid Ali, who is our head of the delegation from DRAP side, to say a few words. Thank you, sir.
Mr. Sebastian, may I say that, are we waiting for somebody to join, or your quorum is full?
Yes, yes, we are waiting for our Deputy National Administrator, Valeria Garay, and I can check that Marcela Ruiz is in the room. Marcela, if you want to introduce, in the meantime, we are waiting for Valeria. I think your mic is off.
Sorry. Good morning, everyone. I'm Marcela Rizzo. I'm the director of the National Institute of Medical Devices of UNMAT. Welcome, everybody.
Thank you, madam. And may I request our fellows from Islamabad, the CEO of DRAP, to introduce themselves.
Okay.
Thank you very much. It's Asim Rauf here. I am serving as CEO DRAP. I have my team with me. They would, I think probably it's better that they would introduce themselves. And we are very much eagerly waiting for this meeting. We were to connect with ANMAT and, you know, to look for the ways and means that we can jointly share some projects to move forward. Before I give it to my director, I have a small presentation just to show where the DRAP is at the moment and what's the plans for the DRAP to move forward. Amir, it's over to you.
Yeah, Dr. Amir here, Director of Medical Devices, DRAP, and also Director Alternative Medicines, DRAP.
Hello,
Nice and good morning to all of you. I am Abdullah. I am working as additional director in pharmaceutical evaluation and registration that deals with the registration or marketing authorization of drugs that is of pharmaceutical nature.
Yeah, that's all from our side. So
May I request Dr. Hamid to say a few words. He's our Director General in Director and Trade Development Authority of Pakistan. Before we proceed further. Right. Okay. Sir, please unmute, sir.
Thank you, Jamil sir. Buenas noches desde Pakistan. Assalamu alaikum. It is my pleasure to welcome you all on behalf of Ministry of Commerce and Trade Development Authority of Pakistan. And I'm thankful to Honorable Dr. Muhammad Khalid Ajaz Sahab, who is our ambassador in Pakistan and Argentina, the Deputy Administrator of NMAT, National Director for the National Institute of Medical Products, our Association of Pharmaceuticals here, DRAP dignitaries of Ms. Maheen Arshad Khan, our Deputy Secretary Minister of Commerce, for this wonderful opportunity to give us all a ground to move forward, walk the talk towards furthering the exports and investment and trade between Pakistan and Argentina. As Mr. Jamil has already pointed out that there is negligible pharmaceutical trade between the two countries, I'm sanguine that this potential of Argentina from the world, which is around US dollar 2 billion in 2019, as a figure which I with me, reflects a great potential for our bilateral trade and furthering the cause. And I'm sure that we have got experts over here from both sides. And in Trade Development Authority of Pakistan and Ministry of Commerce, we are very much there to facilitate at our embassy over there in Argentina, as well as the stakeholders on both the sides, that is DRAP here and NMAT there. And we are looking forward to increasing our pharmaceutical exports. And I give the forum back to Jamil for walking the talk towards making this seminar and webinar. Thank you.
May I welcome Ambassador Marisa Randon. She has just joined, Ambassador. Thank you very much for joining us.
Ma'am, kindly unmute.
Yes, good morning, Ambassador. Good morning, you all of you. And well, thank you for the introduction. Well, I'm so pleased that this meeting is taking place, and I'm not going to speak because I think it's important that all the people from UNMAD and from the Drug Regulatory Agency from Pakistan speak together. This meeting has been put in place for them. But from the perspective, as Mr. Hamid said, from the Dr. Hamid said, from the perspective of the Minister of Foreign Affairs of Argentina, we are pleased that this meeting could be conveyed in the sense that it can lead to more agreements, to more understanding for further cooperation in a very important area, and I wish you all a very fruitful meeting. Thank you. Thank you, Ambassador. And congratulations, Ambassador, for your work. You really work tirelessly for everything. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ma'am Ambassador. Thank you for your kind words. And it is indeed the purpose of this meeting that we should evolve a joint consensus how to proceed further, how to institutionalize our cooperation, and there should be a framework under which we can cooperate with each other and we can evolve a consensus in the field of pharmaceutical trade as well as the ambassador rightly pointed out, that welfare and health of our two people. So as I have been told that NMET has a small presentation regarding their structure and their framework. So we will be glad to know their framework so that we can move forward. And then the DRAP, our Drug Regulatory Authority, they also want to showcase their organization and their framework. So I'll give the floor to NMET first and then to DRAP. Thank you very much. So if you want to have the presentation from NMET, if you want to present your ideas, we are ready to listen and to
Yes, I think Marcela Rizzo, yeah, Marcela, if you want to share the screen to give a presentation about the National Institute of Medical Devices. Let me check.
Yes, I have a little presentation to share with you in a few minutes.
Can you see through the screen? Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
I want to put in the... Okay, Marcela, vos me decís cuando paso en la siguiente.
Okay. Well, the National Institute of Medical Devices controls and monitors the quality, safety, and efficacy of the equipment and devices used in human medicine, dentistry, and biochemistry. The next one, please. The National Institute is composed by 3 offices: the Office of Control and Risk Management of Medical Devices Company, the Office of Evaluation and Pre-Market Authorization, and the Office of the Post-Market and Monitoring. It has about 85 employees. Next one. Well, now we are going to talk about the characteristics of the Argentine medical devices monitoring system. And Matt is in charge of the control over the manufacturers, giving a certification of quality systems. We approve the products, reporting safety and efficacy. And finally, we do a control and watch over the market to prevent anticipated adverse events. The next one, please. Our regulatory framework is adapted to national regulatory for example, and ISO 13485. Next one. The most important regulation of the Office of Control and Management of Medical Devices Company are UNMAT Regulation 2319. It's a technical ruling of the operation authorization of medical devices manufacturers and importers, and UNMAT Regulation 3266 is a Mercosur technical ruling on good manufacturing practices for medical devices and IVD products. Next one. We have about 1,500 companies, out of which 500 are domestic. And in order to approve the companies, we request GMP audits, a building structure, operation license, and a sanitary vigilant inspection. Next one. And the most important regulation of the Office of Evaluation and Pre-Market Authorizations are UNMAT Regulation 2318. It's about registration of medical devices, and UNMAT Regulation 9688. It's about a medical devices regulation, medical device registration requirements. Next one. And concerning medical devices, they go through ELENA electronic system, an evaluation and a quality control and essential requirement of safety and efficacy. Next one. And concerning cost market, if we have a problem, we enforce the sanitary vigilance recall, and we apply the technovigilance program and surveillance of all medical devices. Next one. Thank you very much. And I would like to say you thank you, Shukriya. I don't know if the good pronunciation.
It's fine. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for the wonderful presentation. Now I would request our DREP officers to please show their presentation.
Okay. Thank you.
The counterpart of NMAT, I would say, is Drug Regulatory Authority of Pakistan. This is an autonomous body that is under the administrative control of federal government. Our authority has a headquarter at Islamabad, and then in every province, there are provincial setups. We call them as field offices. These are situated in Lahore, Karachi, Peshawar, and Quetta. Then we do have 3 testing labs. One lab is in Karachi, that is called Central Drug Laboratory. 2 in Islamabad under the title National Control Laboratories for Biologicals, that is NCLB, and another Federal Drug Surveillance Lab. That is a project that is yet to be completed. Our regulatory scope has been extended from drugs to therapeutic goods, and it was in 2012. Now it covers allopathic drugs, biological drugs, medical devices, alternate medicines and health products, and medicated cosmetics. Before that, it was restricted to only drugs. We do have a statutory structure that consists of 13 divisions. 8 of those are technical divisions and 5 are non-technical. If we name them technical divisions, we do have pharmaceutical evaluation and registration, licensing of the pharmaceutical units, quality assurance and laboratory testing is the 3rd division. Then health and OTC products, we do have separate division. Then we do have a separate division for medical devices and medicated cosmetics. Then controlled drugs, pharmacy services, and biological drug evaluation and research. Apart from these 8 technical divisions, we do have costing and pricing, legal affairs division, management information system division, budget and accounts, and human resource. DRAP's operations, briefly I would say, includes clinical trials approvals, registration of drugs and oblique enlistment of alternative medicines and medical devices, licensing of pharmaceutical manufacturing units, including enlistment of alternative medicine manufacturers and medical device manufacturers. CGMP, that is current good manufacturing practices, inspections are conducted regularly by our field force. And then we do have pharmacovigilance activities all over Pakistan. Strategic framework revolves around regulations, harmonization, automation, enforcement. Under rules and regulations, we since our creation of the DRAP, since the DRAP came into being in 2012, we do have DRAP Act 2012, Drug Act 1976 is another act that is a part of the DRAP Act. Then we have our own health and OTC rules, medical devices rules, barcoding rules to make sure the medicines available, they are of highest safety, I would say. Then we have implemented CTD format. That is a requirement of, WHO. And finally, we do have our biostudy rules. DRAP is working actively to harmonize itself with the international world or international organization. We do stand at maturity level 2 in global benchmarking. We are pre-applicant for PICS. We do have implemented common technical dossier document, and Pakistan is the first country in the region that have done so. We do have the rules to implement 2D barcode on packing of drugs. So with your device, iPhone, or other phone, you can scan on the label of the drugs, and you can have an idea when this drug was manufactured and what is the batch number, what is the expiry, all the detail one can get from 2D barcode system. Then we do have WHO Collaborative Registration Procedure Agreement. We are full member to Uppsala Monitoring Center, Sweden, for pharmacovigilance. We have membership for medical devices under the title AHWP, and we do have 3 WHO pre-qualified labs in Pakistan. One in Lahore, one in Faisalabad, 2 in Lahore and 1 in Faisalabad. And we are on the way to get another WHO accreditation for Central Drug Testing Lab, Karachi. Under the title of automation, we have installed a PIDIM system, that is Pakistan Integrated Regulatory Information Management System. Under this system, we have automated ourselves and all the activities in 3 divisions, that is licensing, registration, and quality assurance, that is under the inspectorate, that are paperless, and we have all the parameters to do everything in a transparent and visible manner, so that one of the requirement for WLS status 3 that we are going to achieve, inshallah, we have implemented this system to make sure that our activities are transparent and visible. We do have track and trace system under the title TRACE, and at the provincial levels, we have a team software that is tracking, evaluation, and monitoring system that takes care of the operations at the provincial headquarters. And import and export at the provincial headquarters. We have a mobile app for National Essential Medicine List and Vigiflow database for adverse drug reaction monitoring. Thank you very much. That was the brief introduction about our organization.
So thank you very much. Thank you very much, sir, for your wonderful presentation. It gave us a brief overview of what 2 organizations on the counterpart organizations are doing in their country. Now the question is how to move forward. What should be the framework of cooperation in future? So as a technical people, you know better, but what Dr. Khalid Jasab has done a lot of work in this. This paid work has already been done, and it is because of his untiring efforts that now, and on the other side also, NMET side also, due to the untiring efforts of both the sides, that we are here, and we are now at a juncture where we can institutionalize or make it a permanent feature, this cooperation between the 2 countries and 2 organizations. So what we are suggesting to each other is that the previous meeting, which was held in August, on August 19 in 2020, there was an agreement that we would share the contact details of the focal persons on both sides, the technical side from NMET as well as from DRAP or from our side, so that they can work on a regulatory framework and then we should propose we proposed a MOU to be signed between the two countries. And there is another proposal which can be that we can conduct a study of of our both markets and the structures and the parameters, how to get registered your products in each other's country. So as a stepping stone, I think we should, first of all, we should have a framework in place which itself moves on, and which itself has a kind of a momentum which is not needed by these high level meetings, but on lower level, on technical level, we can also have a interaction with each other. So I would like to have your thoughts on that from the Pakistan side first, and then I'll go to the Argentinian side. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. First of all, I would like to thank Dr. Muhammad Khalid Ijasa. No doubt, this is an exceptional effort um, to create an environment where we are interacting and we are finding ways and means to move forward. Secondly, I would like to briefly tell that TRAP recently, after we met with COVID, so we made the difficulty or our challenge as an opportunity. What we did during this COVID situation, we developed different medicines, like we registered medicines specifically used in COVID, and medical devices that previously we were not, actually I would say we were not actively doing that. So at the moment we have a registration of our remdesivir injection, that is very important injection approved by the FDA. Pakistan has also registered local manufactured remdesivir injection, and that is, we are exporting to different countries in the world. Apart from that, we developed different medical devices, like we have approved 2 ventilators, 1 CPAP, different masks, that are being exported, different Tyvek suits, and sanitizers. Like when the COVID started, we were having great difficulty in finding, the BP or USP specified sanitizer. But now, not only Pakistan have sufficient quantity, but also, Pakistan is in a position to export and is exporting to different parts of the world. Pakistan, DRAP at the moment is working hard to uh, is looking for some export opportunities. And also, with Argentina, we do have our relations where we are importing different medicines from Argentina to Pakistan. And fortunately, I have had a chance to visit Buenos Aires 3 years back for one of this opportunity, and one of the manufacturer that was in the Buenos Aires. Now we are importing medicines from that manufacturer, apart from other different manufacturers. So Pakistan is also already, importing different medicines, including anti-cancers and vaccines and biologicals from the Argentina, and is, looking forward to expand this relationship. Side by side, as I told, Pakistan have now different and unique items that I talked about, relating to COVID. And we do have 2 or 3 units at the moment that are, FDA approved or WHO accredited. So we also have the opportunities where we can export those medical devices or those pharmaceuticals to Argentina or other countries of the world. We we have the potential to join hands for different pharma vigilance activities, where DRAP and ANMET can join hands for the sake of the people of their countries, where one of if there is any adverse or side effects, we can report to each other immediately. Then we can have other MOUs that may strengthen our technical expertise. We may learn from the ANMET, and if they want to share our experiences, we would be glad to share our experiences too. Pakistan is a big market for alternative herbal products due to its unique geo-strategic location. We do have many herbs that are specific to Pakistan or this region, and that we may find hard to find it, to locate in the other parts of the world. So there is a great opportunity that we can expand our relations in this field, where we do have numerous herbals medicines, potential of exporting these herbs and herbal Ayurvedic Unani medicines to Argentina. So we are um, looking forward. We are glad that we are here together to join hands for the betterment of our people and for our country. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, sir, for your guidance and your uh, thoughtful thoughts. And now I'd request senior from NMET and how to move forward on this issue and how to strengthen our technical cooperation, technical and trade cooperation and investment opportunities, to look for investment and cooperation opportunities in the field of pharma. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Before giving the floor to Agustina Vicio, I would like to give you an overview about our international participation. We are actually involved in the international arena through the participation in a huge variety of arenas, such as we are a member of PIC scheme. We are an observer of ICH, we are a member of IPRP, and we are working in 3 working groups of IMGRF. Also, this is very important for us to move forward in the medical devices field. And we are an associate institution of MSAP, the Medical System Audit Program, and we are a national regulatory authority of reference by Pan American Health Organization. And nowadays, currently, we are in the list of authority of the WHO, while the GBT is working. So we are currently working a lot in the international arena, and we are focusing on sharing our information, our provision. The world is talking about reliance. And if we talk about reliance, we have to know each other as regulatory authority. That's why I agree with the ambassador and the regulatory authority of Pakistan that this is a great opportunity. This is the first step to know each other. We can start with the contact point to share information, our legal framework, to understand how we work and how the criteria are to decide what are deciding. This is some of the arena and some of the participation just to share with you. And now I would like to give the floor to Agustina Vicio to tell us about the Office of Evaluation of Registration Drugs. I think you're mute, Agustina.
Yes, I am. Okay, thank you very much, Sebastian. Well, I give you a glance about the direction It's divided in two departments, one of clinical research and one of registration, medicines registrations. The Department of Clinical Research is, the regulation is the 66/70 of the 2010, and is running in an electronic system calling Can Do It, and the registration is mostly regulated by the norm 150 of the year 1992, and is running in an electronic system called RIM digital system. In those systems, or in these systems, we registered all the medicines and all the clinical research studies protocols that the industry submits to the administration. We also have services concerning to pharmaceutical reviews, special medicines register, bioequivalence and biodisponibility, and in clinical research, especially the inspections that nowadays, in behalf of the world situation, we have remote inspection, virtual inspections, and also the surveillance services looking for what adverse event that takes place in the site of investigation, in the ongoing clinical research. Well, that is a glance of the direction. It's okay? Any questions?
Thank you, Agustina. And I would repeat, this is important for join hands. This is the time that we need to join hands in the context of COVID first, and then to move forward to work together. So I would like to ask our Ambassador Rendon next step to start the technical cooperation, the virtual dialogue that we can offer and we need to share. So I understand that the first step is the sign of MOU. With Rendon and the Ministry of Health, and then we can continue designing our roadmap of cooperation. Ambassador Rendon.
Well, thank you, Sebastian. We take the proposal. We don't have anything against. It has to be accepted by the Pakistani side. Definitely, the negotiation has to be done by the two governments. That means Ministry of Health or the agencies. That has to be agree between the two sides. Who is going to negotiate the MOU? If it's Ministry of Health or just the regulatory agencies, it depends on which is the scope of the cooperation. Of course, we are going to be there to help and to guide the negotiation. So that's for us is our job. So we are there to help. And then yes, the second step is the roadmap for the cooperation, where you can set up the concrete steps to the objectives, the concrete objectives of the cooperation with deadlines, and because that's very important to have deadlines and specific targets. So that if I understood well the proposal.
Thank you, Ambassador. And I don't know if Agustin Ingrata from the Ministry of Health, from our Ministry of Health, would like to add some information to move forward in this cooperation.
Yes, Sebastian, how are you? There's no problem for us. You are the agency and you must do what you think about the move forward of the cooperation. It's okay for us. Yes. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Agustin. And if I understood well, we have two main fields to work, medical devices, and in this field, ventilators, masks, used sanitizer. Here in our legislation, sanitizing products are cosmetic. I don't know in Pakistan, the category of sanitizers. And the other field is drug, is medicine that include biological, vaccine, clinical trials, pharmacovigilance, and the importance of reporting each other the side effect that we are having nowadays. I understood that this is the main field that we can start in order to work together.
Yes, I think this would be the first step to move forward. I agree to the proposals, and I would also request the Honorable Ambassador, Dr. Dr. sitting over there to share how we can move forward. But here at the trap level, we would like to move forward immediately by contracting MOU, where primarily we would have three or more focuses. First one is to explore the opportunities for import and export from both sides. Then strengthen our skills of the officers or technical people, like being the senior agency on the other part, and we the junior, we were established in 2012. So we hope to learn your great experience, and that great experience would add on and would make our pathway shorten to get the WLA status 3. That is our prime and main objective. We would definitely like to add something in our MOU that where we can strengthen our human resource skills. And then definitely pharmacovigilance activities that would make sure if there is any adverse effect. No doubt worldwide there is a setup available, but by signing a mutual agreement between two regulatory bodies, that would be more quicker and faster. And lastly, I would say, the specifically in the field of medical devices, like I have, when I was viewing your presentation, so I found that you have developed your medical devices at advanced level. So definitely we would like to share our experiences, that what we did during this COVID, and we would like to get benefit out of your experience in the past and present, to move forward at our level. So there may be 3 or 4 points where we can concentrate at initial stage, and then we can move on accordingly. But as the Honorable Ambassador to Pakistan, Her Excellency said, that should be time specific. like our activities should be time specific. We would appoint focal persons at our part. I would, I can recommend a team that would take care of all of these activities, so that when we decide the dates, so we move forward according to the set timelines. Thank you.
So
Thank you.
may I have
And sorry. And finally, I would request our ambassador, Honorable Dr. Khalid Saab, to endorse Pakistan's, the commitment to the counterpart, that we are ready and we are eager to move forward, joining hands with Argentinian authority. Thank you.
Dr. Mohammad Shafi Malik, he's the Director General of Health in Pakistan's Ministry of Health and National Regulations and Coordination. He has joined the meeting. I would request him to please apprise the participants of the activities Ministry of Health is doing in Pakistan regarding COVID and other than COVID, and the activities in the health sector. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. We are totally agree in move forward in working in specific areas and overall to strengthen capacities. We have to build capacity resources in this context and in the near future also. So we are working. We're going to work with the Minister of Health and with the Ambassador Rendon to focus and to have a dynamic procedures in order to share information and our capacities and our experiences in the international arena. Thank you.
So, if I may add, I'm Hello, this is Dr. Safi, Director General Health, Ministry of National Health Services, Islamabad. Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are.
Yes.
Thank you. So I would quickly brief the audience, and thank you, Excellencies, for inviting Pakistan and Ministry of Health in this very important deliberation. So I'll quickly share the key reform agenda of the present government and what ministry is doing to address the burden of disease which country is facing. So coming to the COVID issue, since the first case started in 26th of February, so there was a committee instituted, put in place to coordinate with the whole of the provincial governments, the subnational governments, the line ministries at the national level, who were required to have a very coordinated effort, decision making, and then implementation of all the decisions in context of COVID. So we started off with strengthening our port of entries first. We acquired the lab strengthening in order to for testing. The testing, tracing, and quarantine strategies were put in place. And as soon as the pandemic was announced, so the scale of this coordination was from the ministry was taken up to the Prime Minister's level office. So the National Coordination Committee was put in place, chaired by the Prime Minister, and all the chief ministers were member of, who are the executives of all the provinces. They were part of it, with the Ministry of Health and other line ministries part of that, army, security agencies, intelligence agencies. So all these were part. So that gave a whole government's approach to address this pandemic in our country. We are meeting since then on daily basis at the national command and operation centers, which comes under the National Coordination Committee headed by the Prime Minister. So under this coordination mechanism, the data is daily uploaded in the polio program database, which we have across the country. The surveillance officers are there. The testing and tracing people are there within the districts. So all outreach activities, contact tracing is done. After the laboratory test, they get positive, and we then follow up. Simultaneously, the hospitals were identified, around 800 hospitals, in which we had 26,000 beds were identified, and for critical care, almost 9,000 beds were identified across the country, where ventilators, CPAP, BPAP, and oxygenation facilities were provided along with PPEs. So steps were taken at port of entries, hospital ramp up, within the field through the testing, tracing, and quarantine methodology. Then risk communication was put in place in order to allay the fears of the community and make them responsible, and to follow the SOPs, guidelines, which were put in place. So after the complete lockdown for quite some time, the government shifted towards smart lockdowns, opened up certain areas to have people have so that they can have their livelihood. In fact, there were poor people who were provided 12,000 Pak rupees. So in order to remedy their immediate threats and look after so that they can look after their families during this intense COVID pandemic. So after loosening up of COVID pandemic, and the spike came down in June through this very collective effort, and we had very limited, till date, we have almost 6,000 deaths and 350,000 cases so far we have with us. So with these measures, we were able to successfully slow down the transmission within the community. Our rural areas where 60% of the population lives, so they were not infected. The transmission didn't get there. It was there within the 15 big cities, which were very closely monitored. Public gatherings, mosques, all those activities were closed down. So that helped us to strengthen the response part and take care of the cases. Most of the cases who were asymptomatic, they were advised at home. So that's how it was managed. Now that the second wave is also coming up, so again, we are focusing on the same risk communication, testing, tracing, smart lockdowns, and advising people to stay home, limiting their movements, and that strategy is quite successful. So this is helping us to reduce in transmission of cases to other people. So this we would be continuing because we foresee winters are upcoming and the cases would increase. So availability of personal protective equipment for healthcare providers and other utility staff, so they are required. So that is there. And again, collective decision. So this was, and simultaneously, domestic funding and foreign funding came into play. We were able to ramp up our hospitals in order to strengthen our case responses, and also we were able to provide incentives to our frontline workers who are fighting this since January, and still they are under quite stress. So they were incentivized, so just to keep their morale up. Um, so these were key steps which the government took. The second issue or the reform process, during this process, essential services were quite hampered, and access of common people to hospitals was not and on a regular basis. So our routine cases, they were um, they suffered a bit. So now, during the second phase, we are not closing down the OPDs, the outpatient departments, and we are trying to keep them open so that the services for rather, especially the RMNCH services, the emergency services, the cardiac emergency services, they would remain open, and also surgical departments as well, in order to address the uh, community's requirements in context of. Though the other important reform agenda which government is pursuing is the universal health coverage agenda, and in that context, based on disease control priority 3 program, the country has developed the essential health service package, which would be implemented phase wise across the country. And we are starting from Islamabad and then moving to 40 districts and then scaling it up.
Your mic is off. Your mic, check. No, yes, I think so. Yes.
Okay, sorry.
Thank you.
So the UHC agenda, I hope you have. So that is the prime agenda, reform agenda across the country. It's essential through essential health service package which we have developed for the country based on the disease control priority 3 program. So that would start from community, primary health care, first level hospitals that are Tehsil headquarter, and secondary care hospitals. And also we are working towards intersectoral. So this package will be addressing all the essential communicable priority diseases, reproductive health, NCDs and mental health, and health system strengthening aspect. With some special initiatives which the country is facing, especially pertaining to nutrition, because we have got a burden of stunting. Almost 40% of our kids, they are stunted. So that is a focus area. Then hepatitis C program that is being launched in order to address the burden, around 8% of the population, and strengthening the nursing sector. So these are the key area reform agenda which the government is trying to address, and especially reforming the governance, and improving the governance within the health sector. So the current government is focusing on social sectors, especially health, education, and providing livelihood to the poorest of the poor. The third main agenda is the universal health coverage insurance package, around 700,000 rupees provided to those beneficiaries who are below $2 a day. And there's a list of 11 diseases, catastrophic illnesses like ischemic heart disease, cancers, liver diseases to be addressed. So that is a big reform agenda, again, the third one, in order to address the catastrophic illnesses of the poor people so that they don't go into poverty line, below the poverty line again. So on one side, COVID, on the other side, the primary health care, universal health coverage, essential package, and on third aspect is the the universal health coverage through the by providing funds to the poorest of poor families in order to address their catastrophic illnesses. So these are the key priority areas which government of Pakistan is focusing. So thank you very much from my side.
Thank you. Thank you very much. We are eager to work together too, as Ambassador said. And let me tell you that our national administrator, Dr. Manuel Limeres, he had an urgent change of the agenda, and he is deeply sorry for not being able to be here, but he sent his regards, and for him it's very important to move forward and to work together. So thank you and sorry for this urgent change of agenda.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you, Dr. Shafi Malik Saab. Now I would request Ambassador Dr. Mohammad Khalid Jah Saab to please conclude and give his concluding remarks. And if we have any other agent points to be discussed, we can do that. But we have to be we have to go in a focused manner and point out what are the key areas in which we have to move forward. Thank you very much. No, Ambassador Saab, kindly.
Ambassador Marisa Randon, Mr. Sebastian, and Dr. Asim Rauf and all other colleagues, it is a matter of great pride and honor for me as well as our team, and in fact, team of both sides, that today it was made possible to get together. You might be knowing that we had been working for this day for the last 6 months, and we had several meetings, and after that, finally, we focused. Today, our focus is more towards collaboration between DRAP and NMAT. And we have a separate meeting in the pipeline, which would be on broader health issues, in which we are planning to hold a full session with Dr. Tahir Shamsi, who is the world-renowned hematologist and professor who has worked on serum therapy for the COVID patients. So for other health issues, we will be having more focused discussion on that meeting, which is in the pipeline. So Ambassador Marisa, you would be having further messages from my side for making that meeting happen. But today, the focus is towards DRAP and NMAT. So I'm really greatly honored and pleased to find the CEO, Dr. Asim Rauf, Dr. Fakhruddin Amir Saab and Abdullah Saab, who are present today with the NMAT team. And as you might have seen today, there is a wonderful move forward, because on the 19th of August, when we had a meeting in which representatives of Argentinian sides were there, and like NMAT, Ministry of Health, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Trade Wing, Political Wing, so many things. But our side, I was the one-man army, because we did not have connections with our side. But today, you find that from Pakistani side, there a lot of enthusiasm is there, and so many stakeholders have come forward. So on the meeting of 19th of August last time, which the minutes which I think my colleague Jamil might have shared with our colleagues, which we had shared with the NMAT, three things were discussed. First is that we have to identify the areas of cooperation between DRAP and the NMAT. So today, Dr. Asim Saab has very kindly elaborated on those areas which would be of possible cooperation between the two agencies. And today we have a nod from our health departments as well as from Ministry of Foreign Affairs to these two agencies to move forward. So in future, I think these two agencies, while nominating their focal persons and exchange of their emails and contact details, they can have future meetings, repeated meeting on technical issues, and they can move forward. So that is a wonderful point of view. And thank you, Dr. Asim Rauf Saab, as well as Mr. Sebastian, to move forward. And you have, Dr. Saab, what a nice coincidence that you are an expert on the subject, not only, but you have visited Buenos Aires as well. So, and you have very kindly said that you want to work on devices as well as ventilators, herbal products, as well as on training. As you know that in Argentina, there are herbal products coming from our neighboring countries. So they are registered here and these herbal products are coming. So there are huge scope of herbal products as well as medical devices to come to Argentina as well as vice versa. You would be very happy to know, and I would reiterate again that Pakistan company Firoz Sons and Bago, the Argentinian company, they have a wonderful collaboration for the last many years, and now they are in the production mode of Remdesivir, which is a FDA approved drug for the COVID as well. So already collaborative efforts between the two countries and two businesses are already there. So we can work forward and move forward on that direction. And about the training, Dr. Asim, you have very rightly pointed out that training are mandatory issues, and you would be happy to know that I have already talked in greater detail with the International Cooperation Department of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and Ambassador Marisa Renan knows that they have a project of international cooperation in South-South framework. So that South-South framework, we have been working with Argentina for the last 3-4 decades at the UN level, at the multilateral level. But on the practical level, the South-South cooperation had not worked very well in terms of Pakistan and Argentina. Now, with DRAP and ANMAT on board, we would like to have some South-to-South cooperation in that framework as well. And that is wonderful that the training, which is very important, that could be think of, and we can work forward. And two more points I would like to highlight is that the last bilateral political consultation, which happened in October, we had already discussed about the framework, and the two governments have agreed to move forward in collaboration in health sector as well as other sectors. So the other sectors are like agriculture cooperation, like IT and others. But health sector had specifically been identified. And in the health sector, we found that ANMAT and DRAP collaboration would be wonderful. So on the political level, the go ahead and nod is already with us. Now, the other aspect which Ambassador Marisa knows, and I know that we have also agreed to hold a mixed high-level commission between the two countries for all sort of technical collaboration, for all sorts of cooperation in medical field, in pharmaceutical, as well as health, agriculture, and any other field. That meeting is also scheduled in early March, or maybe March and April, maybe. The dates are being finalized. So I would suggest that once the two agencies move forward, we will put their findings in that meeting as well, so that it gets approved at the two government level. And lastly, as if you see the minutes of the last meeting, we had, while we have discussed that the two agencies would nominate their focal persons, exchange of areas of cooperation, and also I had also suggested that time that our Argentinian friends may kindly propose an MOU to move forward. So I would appreciate if that MOU is proposed. I know it is a process. It requires a lot of consultations, legal issues. So, but I will reiterate my request that the MOU may be proposed from the Argentinian side, especially by ANMAT, and while our discussions with DRAP and ANMAT continues. So these are some of my thoughts, and really today is a great day for all of us to be here. And thank you very much for very patiently listening to some of my views. You may consider a very ambitious agenda, but I put that the two countries are friends for the last 70 years, and this is the 70th year of our diplomatic relations. And now we are moving forward with the Ambassador Marisa's presence. You can think that how Argentina also put this thing on the table and gives importance. And thank you very much.
Thank you, Ambassador. We look forward to working together as soon as possible. So I give the floor to the Ambassador Rendon to conclude this meeting.
Well, I just say thank you, Ambassador, on behalf of the Argentinian side, which implies above all, in this case, UNMAT, all the people, international relations particularly, because they have been really. The ambassador mentioned that we work tirelessly, but it is not us; it's really them who have been working, organizing this meeting. Because coordinating the agenda of so many people, as you have seen here present, I imagine that also from the Pakistani side, it has not been easy to have all these people together, people very busy with an agenda, an everyday agenda, very busy and very important, and they have managed to be here. So that has been taken quite a long time, and with a time difference, which is not, doesn't make things easier. So we managed, so from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, our thanks go to people from UNMAT, and particularly for Jessica, who has been really the person who has been in contact with us every day, following, and Juan Pablo, who is mute, but he has been all in my team. He has been every day following the arrangement for this meeting, but in particular to all the authorities of UNMAT. And I want to thank Dr. Valeria Garay, who is, I think she didn't speak today, but she is the Deputy CEO of UNMAT. And thank you for being there also, because I think it's important that she could attend and listen to all these deliberations, which have been very important, as the ambassador just mentioned. And I would just add one more thing. Usually people tend to think that diplomats only think about parties and functions and superficial things. But I think Ambassador Jas is just a proof that a diplomat is a very hardworking person, and he's showing that since his arrival to Argentina. I think he didn't rest even one day, because he makes us work every day, and this is very good for our bilateral relations for Argentina and for Pakistan. So also my compliments to him and to his team. He has a small team at the embassy, and he's making the team work very hard as well. So let's promise ourselves that this meeting will be fruitful for both our countries. So thank you very much to all again. So
thank you.
And to the people in Pakistan in particular, all the best.
And we are grateful to you and everybody who attended the meeting, and especially for Ministry of Commerce. We have a colleague from Ministry of Commerce. She's also attending the meeting, and our Trade Development Authority, and the special and input provided by the CEO DRAP, Asim Saab. And we are grateful to all of you and Mr. Sebastian for your insightful input. Thank you very much. And we hope to have a focused approach in moving forward so that we get the desired results. Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ji. Good office.
Bye.
Bye.